The New Orleans Pelicans have had an interesting come up in the last couple of years, going from one of the worst teams in the league back in 2019 to now being considered a championship contender next year in just 4 quick years. So let's look into the unique rise of the Pelicans and what they really did to change everything around. To start off with, we need to first dive into their past. New Orleans definitely isn't known for their flawless draft picks, but in the 2012 draft, they had the number 1 pick and struck gold selecting Anthony Davis.
The New Orleans Hornets select Anthony Davis.
He's the only guy to be AP National Player of the Year, National Champion, and the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft is Anthony Davis.
Besides helping them reach the conference semifinals in 2018, he didn't contribute to any amazing seasons. But what he did do though is change the entire future of their team when he requested a trade back in 2019. Since Davis's trade value was so high, the Lakers agreed to give up Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, and 3 future first-round picks, which are now all major pieces to their roster. And then in 2019, right in front of our eyes, Brandon Ingram started developing into a star. And the Pelicans also received the number 1 pick where they drafted Zion Williamson out of Duke, to add a second superstar caliber player to their roster. As if the 2 major additions of Ingram and Zion didn't already look good enough for them, they also were able to trade for CJ McCollum at the trade deadline in 2022, and they now have one of the best big threes in the entire league heading into the 2023 season, along with a tremendous supporting cast of players.
A rebound by Bridges. Oh, from behind! Alvarado stole it! Jones will finish him off!
It might seem a little early to say that they're championship contenders already, but when really analyzing their roster, they have everything it takes to win a ring. They have major depth in almost every position, and then they also have superstars that can get a bucket in late game scenarios. Having both of these are very important for contending teams during a tough playoff game.
He set a good screen on offense. Oh!
The first player I want to discuss, and probably the most important player for the Pelicans next year, is going to be Zion Williamson. The last time we saw him play was in 2020 when he averaged 27 points and 7 rebounds per game in only his second season. These types of numbers are unheard of for a guy this young, and he's going to be detrimental to their championship dreams. And I know a lot of people are worried he won't be the same after suffering a season-ending injury, but from some of the recent clips I've seen, he looks just as good as before.
CJ looking at the baseline on the fall away.
The second player I think will have to step up and dominate is CJ McCollum. When the Pelicans got him from Portland this year, I was ecstatic because not only is he one of the best shooting guards in the league, he also brings more experience to their young team and some clutch shooting.
With his 9th 3 of the night!
If New Orleans is going to make a run in the tournament, they're going to need him on his A game during close possessions, and I think he's that kind of guy that can do it.
Oh!
The last player I'm going to mention is Jonas Valanciunas, who is highly underrated and not talked about enough when discussing their success. Every team needs a good center that can score, rebound, and set hard screens, and Jonas has been that guy for them these last couple of years.
Valanciunas. Ingram.
Last season, he averaged 18 points and 11 rebounds a game, and he is always bringing energy and toughness to will their team to a win. And although I could mention a lot more of their players as key pieces, I want to move on so I can discuss more about their new additions they're adding.
Liddell.
New Orleans had 2 draft picks this year and ended up choosing Dyson Daniels at 8 and EJ Liddell at number 41. First, let's look at Daniels, who played for the G League Ignite. He's a 6'6" point guard that can shoot and play make on offense, and then on defense he's a lockdown defender. And adding him to their roster is huge because he brings depth to their 1 spot and to their collection of elite defenders. Next up is Liddell out of Ohio State, and him falling to number 41 was a massive steal for the Pelicans. He is 21 years old, so he's on the older side, but this type of experience is exactly what you want when building a win-now type of team. And I wouldn't be surprised if EJ played a decent amount of minutes this year because his playstyle already screams NBA ready. My expectations for their season next year are very high, but I don't think that they'll end up winning a championship. Since most of their players are still inexperienced and young, they are at a disadvantage to teams like the Warriors, Bucks, 76ers, Celtics, and Suns. With that being said though, I do think that they'll make the playoffs and win at least one series. But let me know what you guys think because their team is definitely on the rise, and I expect if Zion, Ingram, and McCollum stay healthy and play well together, that their team could win a championship in just a couple of seasons. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm really looking forward to see how the Pelicans can do next season.